my god, what is this? This is aliasing disaster. They told me to get a PVM. What is this? The gap between the scanlines just butchered this part. This is the first time ever today that I play Super Mario World. Now the reason that I decided to play today, well, not because that I got my new PVM monitor, because I got the cable 2 days ago, the CRTGang cable, and I told myself, well, this is a great time to jump into the game. And I'm going to share my honest opinion, no cap, I'm no fanboy of course of Mario, I didn't have a chance to become a fanboy. It's exactly just how I feel. Now I did play Mario 3 for example, I mean I played some ancient games on the Nintendo Switch, but not this one. Also, I just launched it yesterday on my CRT just to check things out, just check the cable, but didn't really invest in playing it. So let's start with how the game looks. In terms of colors, it looks incredible. And of course, if you're using Sony Trinitron, in this case I play on the PVM, but I also tried it on my CRT. It's just stunning, gorgeous, gorgeous game. And when it comes to immersion in this game, part of it is actually choosing not just the right colors, but the combination of colors just pleases the eye. That makes the game very welcoming. Now Nintendo is very known for that. This is, by the way, one of the reasons why I really love Nintendo so much, because they're creating lots of these games that reminds me of many of the games that I played back then. But even regarding nostalgia, they're still just beautiful, welcoming, colorful, vibrant games. There are many of them. It just brings you joy, it doesn't matter what you do. That's how it is, that's how I feel. It's just a better bridge to help you connect with the child within you. It's like you're getting just this new shiny interactive toy. It's just brilliant. Now in terms of level design, it just feels like a league of its own. Seriously, I mean the amount of unique things that you can actually do in a level and the way you can actually avoid getting hit, the mechanic of the other character Yoshi, and the fact that you actually get basically extra life. The secrets that you can find that give you kind of some sense of exploration in this game. It just kind of tackles some of the boring linearity that exists when you're playing some of this type of games. In terms of movement, remind me the slippery movement reminds me of Wonder Boy, but much more tamed of course, but still I really exist that it's there because it just makes it feel fluid. It's more addicting. It doesn't matter how you move, it's still addicting. Same goes to the jumping and everything just feels spot on. I also like the variety of the level design, really unique levels. With also each level introduced some new mechanics here, for example, just climbing on the net. And I'm just starting out, so I'm pretty sure it's going to get much, much better than this. And for newbies like me, especially me, and I'm pretty bad in platforming but can't stop playing them, I really like that there's actually kind of save option here, so I don't need to start all from the beginning. And for one of it later on, which is of course it's explainable, is that it has a built-in battery. Same as like what I had with the Golden Axe Warrior on the Sega Master System, which is great. Another thing that I can't believe that I'm saying it, but listen, but it is. So the game over sound effect is just so comforting. You little troll. Oh my! Can't believe it. No! It just makes you not feel that bad. This is just such a smart choice of a sound, especially of course many kids also playing it. Really smart. Aside from that, the music itself, it's so memorable straight away. I didn't need to wait for a track. It's straight from the beginning, it's just memorable. I mean, memorable. Later it's memorable. I mean, it just hits well. It's just so much fun to listen to. Now, I'm still listening to this on the monophonic speaker, but I'm planning to buy some high quality shielded speakers relatively soon. Speaking of which, I'm planning to buy the Kanto Aura. These are magnetically shielded ones, new ones by the way. It's not like those that you are searching for to buy old ones that were magnetically shielded back then. There are a few you can find on eBay, but these are very high quality ones and it seems like I'm going to go with them at some point. Now, how it runs on the Sony PVM monitor. Now, in my opinion, and I don't know, maybe it's going to sound weird, but first of all, it perfectly complements the game. And the one reason for it, I don't know if some people mention this, but for me, because there are more prominent gap between the scan lines, or as some people just call it scan lines, the existence of more prominent one actually fit this type of platformer and many other platformer games because of the movement, horizontal movement. Also vertical, by the way, but more of the horizontal movement. But I think, and I feel it, I don't know if it's actually true or maybe I'm something actually, other things actually working here behind the scene. But because of this gap, because the image is slightly broken, it feels like, whether fast moving things on the screen, it's actually just feels perfectly crisp. Maybe it's further helped reduce some kind of blurriness that might exist. It looks stunning. It also, of course, caught the sprites and it kind of add like natural anti-aliasing, kind of make some of the jagged edges rounded and smooth, especially the curves. In a way, it's make the image appear more detailed. It's kind of had like fake resolution and details, which is actually, not in the code. And I don't like when it's too much, because then it feels that kind of interfere with the experience because it's too visible. But when you have it to a certain degree, it doesn't overtake, the look of the image. Just create this really fine, interesting, and good-looking art style for the game. But if you ask me, my other Trinitron creates something that, in my opinion, feels better visually. Again, it's very subjective, because it creates kind of unique organic texture to the game. It feels less digitized, and it also, I think, adds more depth to the image. So I think this is my preference personally, but it doesn't mean that this actually looks bad. It actually looks great. Now, the good thing about having both, they can you decide which one you prefer, maybe for a certain game. I'm just saying. So, there are different results, definitely. So maybe in future games that I play on both, I'm going to say, well, I just prefer one over the other. We'll see. Another thing, I don't know again if it's true, I just feel it, but maybe I'm wrong here, but it makes it easier for me my eyes to focus basically on the moving character, in this case, of course, Mario. So it just leads to less eye fatiguing. Not that it's really extreme on both, of course not. It's actually great, but I'm just saying, in this case, I feel it's just to some degree better. Yeah, so good for the PVM. But is there something bad? Well, listen. You're going to see it right here. When it's actually straight lines, it's fine. But when there's some moving and diagonal thing, you can definitely see the jagged edges kind of even animated. You can clearly see it here. I'm going to zoom it for you so you can clearly see it, right? It's much more prominent. And this is not that great. I think this is just suboptimal for this. And this is exactly because the advantage that you have when you move horizontally and the lines are straight compared to if they are not straight. So complex characters look good, again, because they are curvy. Effects, lots of detail, they look fine. But straight lines, I'm sorry, it just looks not good. Especially if they're movement, and you can see it clearly here. This is going to be much better, of course, on my other CRT because of the extra bloom, and because the gaps between the scanlines are not that defined. So it creates more kind of a cohesive look for this part of the game. That's why I'm saying for some games, certain games it might look much better than the others. In this case, this is just this particular part. Now, of course, there might be some other parts, but overall, if you look at the game, how it looks, all the time I didn't even notice it until I got to this boss, and then I noticed it was really straight away. So, of course, it doesn't really interfere with the experience that much, but maybe there are some other areas where I'm going to notice this again. And if you have even more prominent scan lines, it can gap between the scan lines, it might be worse. But yet again, there are other things that also affect this, not just the gap between the scan lines. Like if I use, for example, not a sharp clear console output like the one chip 02N, and another non-SCART RGB cable, it could be different. I'm saying maybe I can even play with some of the settings and create a more tight look for this. I don't know. I haven't jumped into it just yet. But again, this is just an honest take on this particular subject. Overall, it's a fantastic game, and I won't say it's perfectly fit because I show you some example where it's not really a great fit. Because again, you need more fine detail, technique to kind of fill in the gap between those jaggy edges, which at least by default the PVM can do. That's how it is. But for all the time that I play so far, this was just the specific place. So while I'm having fun and blessed, this game is absolutely magical. So much better than so many other platformer games that really made me happy that I actually bought the Super Famicom, and it actually came with this game. So maybe I would have played it later, but it was in the box. So again, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to my channel. More insight and interesting stuff will come in time. So make sure to subscribe so I won't get lost. See you in the next video, guys. Cheers. Have a great day.